Pleasant evening and a very warm welcome to the national news broadcast. We are coming to you live from Rupavahini's news studios. I'm Dilanjali Ananda.
A very good evening to you. I'm Charita Minipurarachi, and let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news.
The Appropriation Bill for the year 2025 presented in Parliament. Venerable Galagoda Atte Gnanasarathera sentenced for 9 months simple imprisonment. His request for bail rejected by the courts. 2 appeal court judges appointed. The pledge loan scheme will be effective for purchase of paddy harvest. Wildfires in California heightens. Top Hollywood stars also affected. Now for those and other stories in detail. Secretary of Bodu Bala Sena organization Venerable Galagoda Atte Gnanasarathera, who has been sentenced to a 9-month simple imprisonment under the charge of inciting Islam, has submitted an appeal against his punishment.
An appeal was made to release the Thera on bail. Considering the appeal submitted, Colombo Additional Magistrate Pansan Amarasena today rejected this request. Gnanasarathera submitted his appeal to the Colombo High Courts through his lawyers before the Colombo Magistrate Courts. Later, attorneys at law Gambini Alvis requested the courts to release the respondent Gnanasarathera on bail considering the appeal. He further said that Venerable Galagoda Atte Gnanasarathera is sentenced with a 9-month simple imprisonment, and the appeal filed against the sentence may take a period of time in hearing the appeal. The lawyer further said that doctors have recommended Gnanasarathera to have a surgery in the backbone. In the context, if the Thera is imprisoned, the Thera cannot get the surgery done. Then the magistrate said that such special matters cited by the respondent cannot be considered as common matters. The magistrate pointed out that to hear the appeal, it may take a long time, and the mentioned health problem of Thera cannot be considered as a significant matter.
The Appropriation Bill for 2025 was presented to the Parliament today as an amount of 4,616 billion rupees has been estimated as the government expenditure this year. Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasurya presented the Appropriation Bill to the Parliament this morning for its first reading.
Honourable Speaker, I present the Appropriation Bill for the financial year 2025 to Parliament.
According to the Parliament, the second reading of the draft bill will take place on the 17th of February 2025, with the debate scheduled from 18th to the 25th February. The vote on the second reading is scheduled for the evening of 25th February. Thereafter, the committee stage debate, also known as the third reading debate, will take place from the 27th of February to the 21st of March, with the third reading vote scheduled for the evening of March 21st. The government has estimated an expenditure of 4,616 billion rupees for the period from January 1st to December 31st. The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development received the largest allocation for the year 2025, amounting to 713 billion rupees. The Ministry of Defence has been allocated 442 billion rupees, and the Ministry of Health and Media received 507 billion rupees. The Ministry of Transport, Highways, Ports and Civil Aviation has been allocated 473.4 billion rupees. The Ministry of Women and Child Affairs has been allocated 406 billion rupees, while the Ministry of Trade, Commerce, Food Security and Cooperative Development has been allocated 399.16 billion rupees. The Ministry of Public Administration, Provincial Councils and Local Government has been allocated 496 billion rupees. The Ministry of Education, Higher Education and Vocational Training has been allocated 271 billion rupees. The Ministry of Public Security and Parliamentary Affairs has been allocated 175 billion rupees, while the Ministry of Justice and National Integration has been allocated 54 billion rupees. The Ministry of Agriculture, Livestock, Land and Irrigation has been allocated 207 billion rupees. Under the Special Expenditure Unit, the President's Operational Programme has been allocated 2.5 billion rupees for recurrent expenses and 354 billion rupees for capital expenses. 120 million rupees has been allocated for development programs. The Prime Minister's Office has been allocated 72 billion rupees for operational programs. Minister of Energy Kumara Jayakodi has refuted media reports claiming that the Ceylon Electricity Board is debt-free at present. Addressing the Parliament today, Minister Jayakodi said that the CEB has a debt of 323 billion rupees and that the government has not taken over any of its debts as of now. There are rumours going around, especially via media. The PUCSL has also made a comment in this regard. However, the CEB is still paying its debts and the government has not taken over any of the debts, he said. Minister Kumara Jayakodi made the remarks in response to MP Dayasri Jayasekara's question on the CEB having reported a profit of 167 billion rupees and being debt-free. Furthermore, inquiring about the government's pledges to reduce electricity tariffs soon, MP Jayasekara questioned as to why the government has said it cannot do so even by June this year. President Underworld says that steps will be taken to reduce the electricity tariff by more than 30% in the near future. Responding, Minister of Energy Kumara Jayakodi said the government never mentioned a short period and that the plan was for a period within the next 3 years.
And meanwhile, Deputy Minister Mahinda Jayasinghe told the Parliament today that the government will go ahead with the proposal and provide a salary increment in the upcoming budget. Claiming that the International Monetary Fund has not made any objections to the proposed public sector salary increment, the Deputy Minister told Parliament that a significant salary increment will be provided to the public sector employees in line with the cost of living. While responding to a question by Parliamentarian Ravi Karunaika, he said that the government is not ready to accept the Rs 25,000 increment proposed by Ranil Wickremesinghe's government as it was done targeting the presidential election. Meanwhile, Parliamentarian Dr. Harsha De Silva said that the committee gave its proposal to pay the 5,000 rupee allowance for the Aswasuma beneficiaries until the end of this year. He said that then the families who received 8,500 rupee allowance will be paid 10,000 rupees and the families that are entitled 15,000 rupees will be paid 17,500 rupees.
Two newly appointed Court of Appeal justices were formally sworn in before President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake this morning at the President's office. Attorneys at law K.M.S. Dissanayake and R.P. Hettiarachi took their oaths in the presence of the President as new justices of the Court of Appeal. President's Secretary Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumar Naik also took part at the event. M.L. Gammanpila has been appointed as the Chief Secretary of the Uva Province by President Andhra Kumara Dissanayake. The letter of appointment was handed over by the President's Secretary Dr. Nandika Sanat Kumar Naik at the President's office today.
Meanwhile, the pledge loan scheme has been implemented under concessionary interest rates from 3rd of January to small and medium-scale rice mill owners and cooperative societies in order to purchase paddy during the upcoming Maha season. The aim of this project is to provide justifiable prices for the farmers. And the target groups of the loan scheme would be small and medium-scale paddy mill owners and cooperative societies subjected to a capacity of 25 metric tons of milling of paddy at a maximum per day. The loan applicant should possess a business registration certificate obtained from a concerned government institution. Under the loan scheme, small and medium-scale paddy owners or cooperative societies can obtain a maximum loan of 50 million rupees at an annual interest rate of 7%. The concerned loan has to be repaid within 180 days. The loan project is been implemented from 3rd of January until the 15th of May. It has been planned to purchase paddy under a minimum price declared by the Department of Agriculture to provide justifiable prices for the paddy harvest the farmers.
Steps have been taken to raise the efficiency of activities pertaining to the import and export process. According to the government, the importance of single window facility has been identified in order to ascertain the provision of required facilities efficiently. A discussion has been held recently to exchange the progress of the activities conducted so far with the concerned parties. Deputy Minister Dr. Harsh Surya Perumal says that the Import and Export Control Department had started to provide necessary services online from the 1st of this month. The Minister has informed the representatives of the Chamber of Commerce in this regard. It has also been mentioned that the Sri Lanka Bureau of Standard would provide importers and exporters necessary services online. The Ministry of Finance, Planning and Economic Development has notified that the provision of necessary facilities has been initiated online for several other imports. Already 5 chambers of commerce are connected with the single window project. They are the Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce, National Chamber of Commerce, National Board of Exporters, Commerce and Industries Federation and International Chamber of Commerce. Accordingly, steps have been taken to digitalize services of several elected government institutions. The progress achieved by the concerned institutions in maintaining online services have also been discussed. Views and observations have also been requested from the 5 chambers of commerce regarding matters to be implemented on a priority basis until the complete operation of the single window system. Officials who participated in the discussions pointed out that the progress received since 2017 till date is on an extremely limited scale. It has also been emphasized to offer priority in order to provide necessary facilities for the importers and exporters for them to obtain competitive benefits. The need to implement the project was established in the month of June 2022 according to the cabinet decision. The progress of the unit was also paid attention in this context. The Deputy Minister, Dr. Harsha Surya Peruma, informed the representatives of the 5 chambers of commerce to remain connected with the activities of the project until the expected progress is achieved.
And meanwhile, the major wildfires around Los Angeles raged on Thursday as firefighters struggled to put out the blazes 3 days after they began, with the strong winds ripped through the mountains and foothills. All around Los Angeles, scenes of flames were everywhere as many areas continued to burn, all but unabated. Screaming Los Angeles residents left their cars behind to flee as a fast-moving wildfire as it closed in a picturesque celebrity enclave. Eyewitness said, describing scenes straight out of a Hollywood disaster movie. A windstorm whipped a seemingly typical bushfire into a raging inferno within a matter of hours on Tuesday, sending the blaze racing towards the Pacific Palisades area. 30,000 people have ordered to evacuate. The conflagration surrounded the neighborhood in the West City, exploding rapidly from 10 acres to several thousand in size. Hollywood actor James Woods was among the celebrities forced to flee their properties. Actor Steve Guttenberg, also a Pacific Palisades resident, urged people to abandon their cars to leave their keys inside so that vehicles could be moved to make way for the fire trucks. Jennifer Aniston, Bradley Cooper, Tom Hanks, Reese Witherspoon, Adam Sandler and Michelle Creaton also have homes in the Pacific Palisades, according to the Hollywood Reporters.
A person has been severely injured in a shootout occurred at the Ahungala junction this morning. According to police, 2 persons mounted on a motorbike have shot at the victim and fled away. The victim has been identified as a resident in Bogapiti area in Ahungala. He has been admitted to the Balapitiya hospital. Police suspect a rift between 2 Underworld gangs is the cause for the gunfire. The victim has identified as the chairman of the Ahungala Three-Wheeler Drivers Association.
And in your more local stories, Minister Dr. Nalin Jitadisa says that safety measures regarding the HMPV virus is being currently taken by the government. He added that the government is extremely cautious in this regard, and residents Anur Kumar Disanayaka has already paid his attention to this matter. In reply to a question by parliamentarian Dr. Nishant Samravira, the minister mentioned that certain media are creating an unnecessary fear in the minds of the people in this regard.
මෙටා නියුමෝ වෛරස් කියන වෛරසය සම්බන්ධව මාධ්‍ය වලින් යම් ප්‍රචාරණයක් තියෙනවා රටේ ජනතාව මාධ්‍ය වගේම ජනතාවත් යම් බියකින්
Minister Dr. Nalin Jitadisa said that the government is extremely alert on this issue and President has also paid attention to this matter. The epidemiology unit of the Ministry of Health is constantly reporting to the Ministry of Health. The minister said that in case a patient is reported, steps will be taken to inform the country about the situation. The minister added that the government is taking precautionary measures. He further said that certain media is spreading unnecessary fear that the first patient of HMPV virus has been reported from the country. He said it has been based on the media discussions held yesterday by the Sri Lanka Medical Association, where Professor Dilika Malavige had made a statement. The minister said that he had correctly reported that a patient has been reported previously, but certain media had carried reports in a way that will create panic among the people. The minister further said that the media is not only the waves, rating or the profit, since they affect the lives of the people and the sensitive issues for a country. The minister further said that scientific data has to be taken into consideration where the sensitive affects the economy and the country. The minister said that the government has named 20 institutions to investigate about the virus. He also said that doubts have been surfaced regarding one patient with symptoms, but his report has been negative. The minister pointed out that Professor had told the media about based on an old incident. The minister cautioned not to report about the virus, taking into consideration the present situation of the country, since there are persons in parliament who are linked with the said media institution. The minister requested not to report such incidents.
It has been revealed that the number of childbirths has decreased drastically during the past 10 years in Sri Lanka. Consultant pediatric of the Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital, Deepal Pereira, revealed these facts at a media briefing held today. Consultant pediatric Deepal Pereira said that the number of childbirths has gradually decreased during the past 10 years. He said that in 2013 there were 350,000 childbirths. He added that by 2023 the number has decreased up to 250,000 births. He further said that in 2024 the number has further decreased to 228,000. He also said that it is significant that there are pediatric diabetes even among these infants. He stressed that 20 years ago there were no such cases. Consultant pediatric Deepal Pereira said that in addition, cancer patients among children have also increased. He said that malnutrition among them has also increased. He added that the drastic decrease of childbirths and unprecedented diseases among them may cause negative impact to the society in future.
And also reports have come in about a unique principle was opted the motto of Think Big, Start Small from Majuvana area in Baddegama. Her intention is to provide education by developing it with courage and enthusiasm for children of a school which was about to be closed. The school has been the Majuvana Primary School of Baddegama in Galle. Although children studied from grade 1 to grade 11 in this school previously, it has been limited to a school conducting classes from grade 1 to grade 5. At present, about 50 children are receiving education in this school. Principal KNC Susangika has taken steps to make the parents of the area where the aware people help with teaching staff in order to increase the number of students attending the school. It has also been observed that certain children are attending the school without even a pair of shoes. Most of the children attend the school in midst of untold economic difficulties. The shortage of school equipment has also affected the team, and to a greater extent, a number of donors have come forward to fulfill the requirement of the school equipment of the children as a way of paying their gratitude to the efforts taken by the principal to continue the education of the children without closing down the school. Anyone can help the children of this small school if they wish to help anyone in the new year, which is the motto of Think Big, Start Small under Principal KNC Susangika.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya says that science is an essential subject in education. She made these remarks addressing the opening session of the annual convention of Sri Lanka Association for the Advancement of Science. This ceremony was held at the Golf Face Hotel in Colombo recently. This association is considered as the largest science association in Sri Lanka. Professor Udeni P. Navagamuwa has been elected as the chairman of the association for this year.
The government plays a crucial role in supporting and advancing scientific education and research in Sri Lanka. We cannot be satisfied with the role we are currently playing. Our government has articulated a comprehensive approach to advancing science and technology in Sri Lanka. Our policy framework, titled Quantum Leap, emphasizes the government's pivotal role in leading science and technology initiatives. This structure aims to ensure that Sri Lanka remains or becomes a hub of scientific discovery and technological progress. Additionally, our government has unveiled a science and technology policy framework, underscoring our dedication to prioritizing science and research as essential drivers of economic recovery and national development.
The Prime Minister says that it is proud to say that women representation in Parliament has increased up to 9.3% for the first time in Parliament history. She made these remarks addressing the Pratibha Visheka Women's Entrepreneurship Awarding ceremony held recently. It was organised by the Sri Lanka Women Chamber of Industries and Commerce. Dr. Dilisha Pereira was awarded the Women Entrepreneur of the Year 2024 at this occasion.
A 2019 McKinsey Global Institute's annual report on gender diversity and the impact of women in leadership roles within the corporate sector found that companies with a higher representation of women in decision-making roles are often better at responding to societal issues and delivering innovation. The World Bank also acknowledges that women entrepreneurs tend to prioritize community-driven solutions and social impacts, particularly in underserved areas, contributing to a more inclusive and equitable economy. I'm proud to say that for the first time in Sri Lanka's history, women's representation in Parliament has reached 9.3%. Not even 10, but 9, well, we're getting there. This positive shift ensures that women's voices are being heard, contributing to more comprehensive and inclusive governance. However, this is just the beginning. Representation must continue to grow to ensure that women's voices are not only heard, but also valued at every level of decision-making.
Minister Samantha Vidyarathna says that electrification project will be implemented for the benefit of indigenous people living in Unakanda area in Badula. He further said that a complaint will be lodged at the CID regarding the illegal supply of electricity to the lands located in Annasigala area in the close proximity of Unakanda area. The minister made these remarks in response to the reports published in media that supplying electricity to Annasigala area, which is the part of Boghapalas Forest Reserve in the Haldumulla Divisional Secretariat area in Badla district. Minister Samantha Vidyarathna said that he did not reveal certain names so far. He added that there are professionals and businessmen where everything has been conducted illegally. He added that the wildlife conservation officers also should be responsible for the matter concerned. The minister pointed out that there are no proper documentation or deeds for any of the lands. He questioned as to how electricity has been supplied to a forest reserve, providing a high-tension line through it. The minister also questioned whether it should be allowed to take a high-tension line in the middle of a forest. He also said that an amount of 120 million rupees has been spent. He added that the high-tension line is still not completed and the case will be directed to the Criminal Investigation Department. The minister pointed out that the government is against racket but was never against investments.
And according to the Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau, physical fitness tests were conducted to select workers for agriculture jobs in Israel, following all health guidelines. These physical fitness tests are being conducted with the support of the army with the aim of finding suitable Sri Lankans for the jobs in the Israeli agriculture sector, which has temporarily stalled. Sri Lanka Foreign Employment Bureau says that currently 15,200 Sri Lankans are working in Israel.
A group of students of Mahamaya Balika Vidyalaya, Kadawatha today visited the President's office and the Presidential Secretariat. The students also had the opportunity of seeing a number of other places in Colombo. The students have been provided with an opportunity to see the President's office, Presidential Secretariat, Colombo Port City and the Parliament Complex. After visiting the old Parliament building, the students have been detailed about the history of the Parliament under a program to make awareness among school children jointly by the President's office, Ministry of Education and Mass Communication Department of the Parliament.
And now let's move on to some few more local news items in brief. 10 Indian fishermen who were engaged in illegal fishing activities in Sri Lankan waters have been taken into custody. They were arrested at a special search operation jointly conducted by the Sri Lankan Navy and Department of Coast Guards at the sea area of Covilan Lighthouse in Jaffna last night. The seized Indian fishing vessels is to be moved to the Kankasanturai harbour with the Indian fishermen and handed over the Fisheries Investigation Office in Mailadi. Veterinary surgeon Chandra Rajapaksa today assumed duties as the new Director General of the Department of National Zoological Gardens. He has also over 20 experience at the Dehivala's National Zoological Gardens as a veterinary surgeon. A 9-month-old infant was killed in a road accident occurred at the second milepost area at the Polanaru Somavati main road last night. The police say a 3-wheeler and a double cab collided head-on this accident. 6 people, including driver of the 3-wheeler, have been seriously injured and later admitted to the Polanaru hospital. The driver of the double cab has taken into police custody. A person has robbed jewellery and other properties worth 3.5 million rupees from 7 houses in Mount Lavinia has been arrested by the Mount Lavinia Divisional Crime Investigation Bureau. The suspect has been identified as a 29-year-old resident of Madapatha area in Peliyandala. Police has also recovered 11,200 milligrams of ice narcotic in his possession. The suspect has been released on bail. Villagers in Margavasevaru area in Batiklu have captured a 15-feet-long crocodile. Our correspondent said that after being informed, wildlife officials have taken the crocodile away. Stay tuned with international news after this break.
Dengue.
Wintry weather is tightening its grip in many parts of the UK, with sub-zero temperatures expected to plunge even lower overnight and more snow forecast in places. Forecasters predict the coldest nights of the year over the next 2 days, and temperatures are expected to fall as low as -20 Celsius degrees in some places that endured heavy snowfall at the weekend. There were more than 60 flood warnings, meaning flooding is expected, and 130 flood alerts, meaning flooding is possible in places across England yesterday evening. 3 flood alerts were in force in Wales. There were no severe flood warnings in place, which indicated a danger to life or significant disruption. Looking ahead, the flooding and warnings are expected to reduce with no significant rain predicted in the areas experiencing floods. An amber cold health alert, the second highest level covering all regions of England, is in place until midday on Sunday.
Prima Kutumi, Pantamai.
Kusal Janit Pereira of Sri Lanka has come to the 10th position in the ratings announced by the International Cricket Council on T20 ratings, with 26 positions ahead the previous ratings.
Kusal Janit Pereira has been placed among the first 10 players in the ratings as per recently concluded T20 tournament with New Zealand. Kusal Janit Pereira was able to score 101 runs in 46 balls in the third T20 match against New Zealand. It has also been recorded at his first T20 century. Accordingly, the batting rankings of Kusal Janit Pereira has received 675 points. Kusal Janit Pereira has scored 2,056 runs in 77 T20 matches and has also become the first batsman to cross the limit of 2,000 runs. In T20 batting rankings, Pathum Nishankar is on the 7th place, while Kusal Mendis has occupied the 12th position.
The 2025 Air Force Commander Trophy Golf Tournament will commence on the 17th of this month at the China Bay Eagles Golf Link. A media meeting in order to enlighten in this regard took place at the Sri Lanka Air Force headquarters today. More than 100 local and foreign players are expected to participate in the tournament. Contestants representing the three armed forces are taking part in the Eagles Challenge Cup. The tournament, which will be held for 2 days, is expected to end on the 18th of this month. Presentation of prizes and trophies to the winning players will be done under the leadership of the Air Force Commander.
Terima kasih, Pantamai.
And that's all the news we have for tonight. Join us tomorrow at the same time for the very latest on Channel Eye. I'm Dilanjali, together with Charita, signing off. Good night.
Good night.